sitting here today, folks, with George Acera from the Odyssey Energy Group, and George has a way for the average person to avoid paying the power company, a way to generate your own electricity. George, show us what this power system, show us how it works.
Okay.
And this is what it looks like, I'm assuming.
Right, this is the internal behind the housing of what the system would look like.
Right.
It is basically a pure cycle Rankine energy system. What it consists of is the very simple diagram here.
Okay.
We harness solar thermal energy.
All right.
We take the light and heat generated by sunlight and we use it on a fluid, much the same way that your heat pump systems work for a house, for HVAC.
Okay.
We take that fluid, we heat it up, we bring it in, and we allow it to expand into a turbine. Turbine produces electricity. We then take that fluid back down. We utilize a geothermal ground loop, which is 52 degrees constant.
And that does what? That cools the
That
back to a
cools
liquid?
the vapor back down to a liquid.
All right.
Goes back into a pump. We use whatever heat is still left over
Mm-hmm.
to reheat the fluid, bring it back down into the pumping systems, and then take it back up into the solar thermal loop.
For
And
reheating,
for
or
reheating.
further heating.
And starting the cycle all over again.
Okay.
One of the things that we also do and can add to this package is we can add a battery pack. What we looked at is we looked at the different systems that are available
Right.
and the cost of these different systems. And they can get quite expensive between PV, solar thermal PV, and some of the exotic high-end heavy producing
PV, you mean photovoltaic?
photovoltaics.
Okay.
So we looked at it as a way to give consistent power generation, 24 hours a day, very silently, actually quieter than an HVAC unit,
Wow.
and give them reserve power for backout in case of power outages. At the same time, produce power that goes back into the grid. We say back into the grid because we're not using it for your use in the home. We're putting it back to offset what you get charged by the utility companies on your kilowatt hours.
All right. But the bottom line is that this is a quiet operating system. It'll produce more, the same amount as you need or more than you need to run your whole house. So you're really producing your own electric. And
Correct.
therefore, except for a small transmission fee, you're not going to have an electric bill.
Correct. You'll still have, in a sense, you'll still have an electric bill where you'll still have your transmission fees.
Well, yes.
But you'll be credited for the power that you've generated and fed back into the grid.
All right. How big is this, George? I've heard you say it's about the size of a chest freezer.
This system will be the size of a small chest freezer.
Wow. So here we've got a system that's affordable. Let me ask you this, George. Over what period of time can this be paid back?
On average, depending on usage, most utility companies report that the average home usage, whether it's, I think it's MedEd, PP&L, First Energy, all report that their average usage is between 1,200 and 2,000 kilowatts a month. Average, they figure, is about 1,275 to 1,400.
Okay.
This unit here, that we do, there's different sizes. We have a 2 to 3, and we have a 5 to 6. The 2K, that would produce approximately 1,440 kilowatts a month at optimal conditions, which means that literally you produced on 1,200 kilowatts, your electric bill, you no longer are taking power from the utility company. You're feeding it back to them.
Okay, so let me summarize. At an affordable price, you can buy a unit like this that fits outside your house, is quiet, makes less noise than your air conditioner system, and is reasonably sized, so it's not a monster. And you, after you get it paid for in about 40 months or 50 months,
Correct.
you'll never have another electric bill except for your transmission charge, which might be less than $30, $40 a month.
Correct.
Hallelujah.